This Sunday, we're going to be turning our clocks an hour forward for daylight saving time. While many enjoy the extra hour of daylight saving, the change obviously takes a toll on our health. We talk about this twice a year. A study by the American Heart Association found there's a 24% increase in heart attacks on the Monday after we spring forward. So joining me now to tell us how to prepare our body for the change, UT Health cardiologist Dr. John Higgins. Thanks for joining us
this
morning.
Yeah, we definitely have to have our sneakers on that Monday.
Yes, and then typically more heart attacks do happen on Monday, and so then the Monday after daylight saving, why
it's
why
a
is
double
that,
whammy.
Yeah, why is that so bad for our health?
So what it is, Haley, is that losing that extra hour of sleep, for most people, it's a little bit of a jolt to the system. Our circadian rhythm is kind of very, very much time sensitive. And for example, if we're used to getting up at 6 o'clock, now on that Monday, we've jumped forward. We're going to be getting up at 5 o'clock, kind of on the day before. And that's going to throw our system out. It's going to put stress on the system. We're going to wake up. We're going to get a surge in some of those stress hormones, which can increase heart rate, blood pressure, as well as make the blood a little bit thicker. And all those factors in someone generally that's predisposed, so someone that does have some history, heart history, or has some cardiovascular risk factors, they're the main ones that are running into a problem, and it can just tip them over, Haley, and that's what we're concerned about.
Okay, that's interesting, because I've always kind of wondered, I'm like, we adjust our sleep schedule all the time for work, to catch a flight, to go to the airport. Like, you're always kind of, at some point during the year, waking up an hour early, but somehow daylight saving time always triggers those extra events, heart attacks, car accidents, things like that.
And I think also, Haley, we're missing the important sunlight trigger as well. So that's one of the differences on this day, because when we wake up, it's going to be real dark, and we're not getting the sunlight sort of telling our body, our circadian rhythm, it's time to relax and get ready for the day. So that's also part of the problem, Haley. And not only is it affecting our heart, particularly for other, kids at school, it can kind of make them a bit groggy and a little bit hard to focus and concentrate. So we definitely don't want to schedule any tests for school, for that week after daylight savings, which is good because right now, most of Houston will be in spring break next week.
I know, they got so lucky with the timing of it this year. Yeah, so it does impact kids. But also what you were saying is you're not going to have the daylight, to kind of trigger waking up, but also you have extra daylight at the end of the day so that nighttime won't be triggering the melatonin that would make you go to sleep.
Exactly, Haley. So what I think it's really important for people to do, as soon as the sunlight gets up, make sure you get outside and get a little bit of that into your retina. That will send the message to the brain, it is daylight. Don't wait too late, because driving to work is probably going to be actually dark still. So once it gets light, go to the window or go outside, get a bit of that. And then importantly, as you get later toward your bedtime, try to kind of like close the blinds and get it a little bit darker inside, because if you have sunlight right up to, when you're turning in for bed, your body is going to still think, oh, it's not bedtime yet. And that also goes for those blue screens. Haley, important, the hour before bed, try to avoid sunlight and try to avoid the screens. And of course, caffeine is a big one too. I generally recommend people do not have coffee after about 2 p.m. in the afternoon, because the caffeine can last in your body and keep you awake.
Yeah. Well, as you know, the American Heart Association just put an 8th key healthy habit to our heart on their list, which was sleep. So we're now understanding you cannot underestimate the importance of sleep and your heart health.
Absolutely. And Haley, not only for the heart health has it been shown to proper sleep can reduce all of the risk factors, including junk eating. A lot of people will snack when they're not sleeping well, as well as traffic accidents. But, every day our bodies make some cancer cells, okay? They've shown that if someone is not getting the right sleep, those anti-cancer cells that we make, like killer T cells and other things, our immune system, they actually can't kill those as well. And so actually not only is sleep bad for the heart, it can promote cancer as well. So it's so important. 7 to 9 hours, Haley. Most people have got devices now, you can track and you can see what you're getting. And importantly, coming up to daylight savings, Haley, we generally recommend people try to kind of transition. So maybe tonight, set your clock about 20 minutes earlier to wake up and go to bed about 20 minutes earlier, and try to do that a little bit so that by the time Monday comes around, it's not a whole hour. Maybe it'll only be, 30 minutes to, or 15 to 30 minutes, just to ease into it.
So you do still have a little bit of time to gradually get there.
Yeah, you do. Definitely, Haley. And like I said, be careful, especially in the morning. Car accidents go up because people are not used to driving in the dark. And also, luckily, again, most kids are not going to be on school. But if your kid is going to a program during the week, they're on a camp, be really careful because, in the dark, there has been an increase in children being hit by cars because, the cars don't see them as well. The person's a bit drowsy and foggy. So just always walk with your kids if you're dropping them off to camp, and be really, really careful in the roads, especially for this coming week. But most people who are healthy, if they're able to just transition, make sure you get that early sunlight as soon as it comes up. And also, importantly, do your exercise too. They found that exercising every day, especially in the morning hours, can really help you transition to the time zone change.
I believe it. Dr. John Higgins, you always come on and give us such great advice. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. You asked the right questions, Haley.
Thank you.